All right, so in this video, we're going to be talking about Tahaad Pettiford's decision making out of the pick and roll, which I think his decision making out of the pick and roll is one of the best in the country. But we really don't get to see it. We really don't get to really look at it too much because they've been losing. You know what I'm saying? They even lost this game versus Arkansas. But I'm going to go through a bunch of pick and roll decisions that he made during this game to show you how elite it is. And this is for any kids who want to get better at decision making out of the pick and roll, any coaches that want to teach their guys about getting better at the pick and roll, defeating the pick and roll, different traps, hedges, drop coverages, all that. He shows a lot of that in this specific game alone. Right, like I said, they haven't really been winning, so people haven't really been looking at it too much. People have been overlooking. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Hall has been out this game, couple games, so it's been tough, but they really been trying to hang their hat on Tahaad making decisions out of the pick and roll. All right, so in this play, right, they got Murphy right here. He already set that ball screen for Tahaad. Now he's coming off this way, right, but they're running that Spain action, so they're going to have Overton, one of their best shooters on the floor, come up and try to set the back screen for Murphy to come down, right? And Arkansas did a good job on their scouting report looking at this, right? So what Arkansas is going to do in defensive coverage-wise, they're going to put two on the ball, right, and make it look like a trap, but then they're going to back up and fade away, right? And Tahaad notices that, right? They draw two on the ball, right? They got a cuff, him right there on the ball, but this hedge guy is going to fade away and get back to his man. So it's like a fake trap. They basically using the trap as like a smoke screen, but that's not really what they want to do, right? And Tahaad understands that. Now he's going one-on-one from here. Once he realized that it's like a fake trap, he's going one-on-one and attacking the gaps. There you go. Good decision right there. Boom. He fading away. Now I'm going to go one-on-one. Now I got some room. Playing off two, knockdown. One more time, right? You see? That hedge over there, it's important as a point guard to drag that hedge all the way out there because you want to be able to see what coverage they're really in. If you drag that hedge all the way out there or that trap all the way out there and there's still two on the ball even when you out here, that's how you know it's a trap, right? And that's a good thing that Tahaad did. He dragged it out to see and let the coverage develop. All right, boom. Now it's one-on-one. Great decision. Now, sort of very similar action, very similar play, right? You got Murphy out there. He set that ball screen. Overton going up for the Spain action and setting that back screen for Murphy, right? But as you see, number 12 and Acuff is fake trapping Tahaad coming out this screen, right? Just like they did earlier, right? He dragged them all the way out. They still got two on the ball, right? But this number 12 right here is going to run back and get to his man. And Tahaad sees that, and now it's one-on-one again, right? End up missing that shot, but I think that's a great decision out of the pick and roll. I think that's a great decision, right? Drag him out just to see what's going on, right? And he knows that if he make this pass right here, he might be able to steal that because eventually he's going to run back to his man, right? So you don't want to make any risky passes like that with two on the ball, right? So he takes his time, get into his bag. Very good shot. Very capable shot. Now, this is where the savviness and the IQ of the game comes into play, right? You can't really see him out there, but Tahaad has the ball out there, right? You got DJ Wagner guarding him and Murphy setting his screen. But they already know that they fake trapping this. They going to put two on the ball, and then eventually once I drag them out, the big fella's going to leave, right? So he not even allowing that to happen, right? He's sort of putting his card down first and seeing what they're going to do, how they going to react, right? I'm not going off the screen. I'm going to reject it. Now I'm getting into my bag, right? Reject the screen. And one thing about this play, too, he stops before the help can actually help, right? He doesn't go too deep in the paint to where he'll get in trouble out here, right? Because he's still got a defender on his hip, right? So he'll stop before this help is actually helping and make a play from there. Great decision. Reject, make a play, stay poised, knockdown. Now you see right here, they bringing that screen all the way to the left wing, right? So you got Murphy setting that screen, and then we make a play from there. But what do we know so far? We know that they're going to put two on the ball, right? And they might even actually trap it this time because it's on the weak side of the floor, right? You see the floor is kind of short over here. Right, boom. So they put two on the ball. And what's Tahaad doing? He's dragging it all the way out to see what the coverage is actually doing. Right, what this big man is doing. Is he going to stay there or is he going to get back to the paint and find his man? So he drags it out, beat his man. Boom. Wide open pass to Murphy for the easy lay. Right, drag him all the way out. Make a play from here. Right, he even got this Freeman man open on the baseline skip. But instead, he makes that right play to Murphy. Passing in traffic. One more time. Drag it all the way out, beat the big man, dump down. That's a great move. This is high-level IQ basketball that people are not really looking at from this guy. And I think a lot of GMs need to be paying attention to stuff like this instead of just, winning ball games. I get winning ball games is very important, right? But sometimes it's situational. And I think this guy Tahaad is one of the best pick and roll players in the country. At least top 5. You know what I'm saying? Especially decision making. And this is one thing that I see a lot of point guards do not do anymore. They do not take their man down below the screen. So when he screens, he actually hits his man. A lot of guards don't do that, right? But watch how Tahaad does this. It's like a fake reject, and then he'll get back into the screen, right? He act like he go and reject this, bring it all the way down. Now look at the screen. Now he actually has an angle to where he can go downhill off of this screen, right? And his man, A-Cuff, will get hit by the screen, actually. Right? Boom. So now he gets hit by the screen, like I just said. Now he has a better angle to attack this, right? Now look at the decision making. Boom. They got two on the ball, right? They not letting Tahaad get off. They're going to put two on the ball every time. Who's open? Murphy. Great decision for the lay. Great dump down. Brings him down below the screen. Goes off the screen. Make a great decision. This is what I'm saying. This is high level IQ basketball. This is very, very fundamentally sound basketball. People need to start watching this. Any coaches that want to get their team or their kids better at the pick and roll, watch this guy. Any player that needs to get better at the pick and roll, making decisions, watch this guy. All right, so you got another pick and roll here. Murphy setting that pick and roll on A-Cuff and Tahaad going off that screen, right? And mind you, they're still putting two on the ball, right? Look at the big fella. He's ready to come off that screen and stop Tahaad and put two on the ball, right? Watch the decision making. Boom. They got two on the ball right there. Who's open? Murphy's open. Two on the ball. Get off it. No need to do too much. Just get off and make the right decision. Trust your teammates to get the bucket. Right? Great decision. Sometimes it's just simple decisions off the pick and roll you got to make. It doesn't have to be real fancy, real, layered. Just simple decisions sometimes. Gets the job done. And this is another example of just keeping it simple. You know what I'm saying? Making the right read, the simple read. And so here you go right here, ball screen for Tahaad. He's going to kind of space out. Everybody going to kind of space out, right? But I want y'all to watch his decision making on this play. So now, like I said, they're putting two on the ball every time Tahaad is going off the screen, right? Now, at this point, they got three on the ball, right? They really don't want Tahaad coming off making clean decisions, right? So they putting three on the ball. They over helping. Who's open? Overton's open. Freeman's open in the corner, right? But I don't think he can get that skip pass all the way over there, right? Because there's three people on him. So what does he do? He just makes a simple read, gets it to a shooter, right? He should be able to knock this down. Usually he knocks that down. But again, that's a great decision. Three on the ball. Get off it. Just be simple, right? Simple decisions, regular decision making, easy decision making. That's what get the job done most of the time. Usually he'll knock that down, but You can't make every shot. Now in this play, this is a very nuanced play. This is next level decision making kind of thing, right? So you got Murphy right here. He's going to do a DHO with Tahaad. You can't really see him right here, but Tahaad is going to come off this DHO and make a decision. And I want to break down this type of decision, right? Boom. They putting two on the ball like they always do. Every team does, right? So they got that big fella trying to stop him, but obviously he can't really side his feet like that versus Tahaad, right? So he bends that corner, and watch what he does when he bends the corner. He bends the corner, right? And he tries to take the layup, misses. The dude who set the screen gets the rebound, right? But I want to rewind that a little bit and break that down, right? So as he comes off, he understands that this guy cannot stay in front of him, right? He already took a bad angle, which means he has to try to fight over and contest this shot at the rim, which also means who's boxing out the big fella, right? He's obviously open if he drives that, right? So if he can't make that pass to him, what is he going to do? He's going to create him as a rebounder. He's going to make him a rebounder instead of catching the pass. He's going to make him a rebounder, right? Just put the ball over on the rim and let him get it. That's great decision making. See, a lot of point guards don't do that no more. A lot of point guards want to make the fancy passes. They don't want to mess up their stats. But sometimes you just got to put the ball on the rim and make your guys rebounders, right? Instead of trying to make the perfect pass at them and risk a turnover. Just put it on the rim and let them clean it up. You know what I'm saying? That's a great decision right there. And again, right? Same thing. Murphy ball screen, right? They're going to trap. They're going to put two on the ball. Let's see what type of decision he makes this time. Boom, two on the ball, right? Now, who's open? You got Murphy rolling down. He's going to be taken by this guy. Malik Thomas is taking Overton, right? Freeman is already covered. That means Williams Adam is open, rolling up to the top of the key, right? Keep it simple and make that decision. Two on the ball. Make that easy decision. Boom, for a catch and shoot. Now he missed, but that was a great decision still. If that's Keyshawn Hall out there, if that's somebody else that's a sharpshooter, not saying Williams Adams can't shoot, that's a knockdown though. You know what I'm saying? That's a great decision. Being able to make decisions when you have a lot of length on you, two people on you, you know what I'm saying? Being able to make the decision under pressure is what you need as a point guard. Right, seeing the floor under pressure, making passes on time, on target. And that's what Tahaad has been doing this entire Arkansas game. And they going into that same Spain action, right? They got Tahaad right there, out there at the top. They got big fella setting the screen. Then they going to have Freeman roll up and set that back screen on big fella's man rolling to the basket, right? But all of that just frees up Tahaad going off the screen and making a decision, all right? So we'll see here, he come off, right? They actually not putting two on the ball this time, right? That's a big mistake. So what they did, they got through the play, set that same screen like I was saying, set that back screen. Now Tahaad has an open lane for a floater, right? Making a decision, the easy decision, not doing nothing fancy, right? And the good thing about this play that I like is that you see how he takes that pause right there. Right? As he coming off, boom, that pause right there allows him, gives him enough time to read the defense, see what's going on, right? Reading everybody and seeing what's going on. Okay, boom. Now I got the lane for this floater. That's my shot. Knock it down. Great decision making, right? And here we go again, right? Murphy setting that screen, right? And Tahaad is making a decision off of this, right? But I want y'all to look at how the defense plays him, right? So before, in all these clips, before this clip, early on in the video, they was trapping or fake trapping, right? Or you could say they was hard hedging, but they stayed in the hard hedge longer than usual, right? And that's exactly what they was doing on this play. But I want y'all to see how this time what Tahaad does to combat that. Comes off, right? Boom. Now you see big fella is trying to get away and get back to his man, right? So Tahaad sees that and he stops. right? Him stopping and playing with pace allows him to see the floor. What's going on? Who's guarding who? You know what I'm saying? And once he sees that, I can go one-on-one now. You see A-Cuff is too far back, right? Once he sees the floor, he sees what's going on. Now he makes his quick, decisive decision. It's going up. That's too much room. Knockdown, right? He sees what's going on, right? Reviewing the whole field. Too much room. You're not up enough. It's easy. Cash. And the thing that he does very well off these pick and rolls is that if you notice, he does something to buy time to make a decision, right? Whether it's a hop, whether he stops and snatches it, whether he picks up his dribble and looks, but you got to do something to where you can see the field, you can see the court and what's going on. You don't want to just be going off the screen trying to get downhill so fast that you don't know what's going on, right? And that's what Tahaad is great at. Now, this is just a textbook kind of play, right? They still got Murphy setting that screen there, right? Tahaad's going to come off and make a decision. But I want y'all to see how he pauses and waits and watches to see what the defense is doing, right? He gets off that screen, boom. You know they're trying to put two on the ball, like I said, right? Now that pause is allowing him to see what's going on, right? So now he sees that it's only one man protecting the rim. He's responsible for these two guys over there, and they have two on the ball, right? Because Wagner's trying to get back in front. Malik Thomas is guarding Overton right here, right? One-on-one on the backside. Gets it right to him. Great decision. Now he go finish. See that pause right there? Waits, makes his decision. You got to be able to come off the pick and roll and be able to see the entire floor through pressure, through traps, through hedges, any type of coverage. You got to see the floor, man. And Tahaad does that well. Great pass. And again, big fella setting that screen. Watch how he pauses and plays with pace to make his decision. Boom. See that pause right there? Now he sees what we see, right? 24 is over there. He's guarding two players, right? He's guarding him. Malik Thomas on Overton again. You got two on the ball. Now your decision is over here. You're waiting to see, is he going to guard him or is he going to guard Freeman, right? And that pause allows him to see what he's going to do. Boom. Good pass. Let's watch that again. Pause. Boom. Make your decision. Playing with pace, being confident, being decisive with your decisions. This is exactly what you need to be doing as a point guard. One more time. Great pass. Now in this play right here, right? Got Murphy setting the screen per usual. But this play reminds me of a quarterback calling an audible at the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to see the play early, right? You got to see how the coverage is playing you early, right? So you see they got Williams Adams coming down, right? But who's really guarding Freeman? If he's guarding, Williams Adams, who's guarding Freeman? And Tahaad is seeing that. You can see he's looking at that. As he come off the screen, he makes his decision early. They putting two on the ball, right? He's wide open, right? You seeing it before the snap, before the play actually happens. That's where the quarterback feel comes into play as a point guard, right? Seeing plays before they happen, seeing who's open before you actually use the pick and roll. Great decision, man. And Tahaad is great at setting up a reject for the ball screen, right? Which means instead of going off this way, he'll reject it and go the other way, right? So watch how he sets that up. Act like he's going off, spin, pull up right before the help gets there, knockdown. Reject, stops right before the help, cash, one more time. Nice reject into a pull up. Making a decision, man. That's just a pro decision. Very calm, under control. And in this play, right, you see They getting into that Spain action again. They got Murphy setting that screen. Overton is going to set the ball screen on Murphy, man, rolling to the basket, right? Which in turn frees up Tahaad, right? Boom. Now you see the defensive coverage is kind of busted. They usually put 2 on the ball, right? But if you see big fella, he kind of waiting for that back screen, which leaves Tahaad wide open for the 3. Don't waste no time. Once he see that opening, it's going right up. Great decision. Not hesitating, taking his time, staying fundamentally sound on the shot, straight up, straight down, making a great decision. This is what I mean by making great decisions out of the pick and roll consistently. This is a lot of pick and roll plays I'm showing y'all, a lot of possessions, and he's making the right decision 9 out of 10 times. Pick and roll again, Murphy setting that screen, right? Overton's going to space out a little bit, but I want y'all to see this pass, right? Also, because look at this room right here, which means once he go ahead and get off this screen, if he get it to Murphy, he has all this space to work with. Look at that pass. All right, they called a foul, but look how he gets that out. One hand, over the head type of pass. That's a great decision. That's a great pass, man. If you're watching this, man, as a kid that's trying to get better at the pick and roll, passing out of the pick and roll, you got to watch this guy. You got to be able to throw passes like this. Especially if you're a smaller guard, this has to be in your bag. Now you see the dribble handoff, right, to Tahaad coming up. Boom. Now you see that hard hedge is not really hard hedging up there no more like that, right? So now, what does he do? Brings it back, pause. Now he sees the floor. Okay, everybody matched up now. All right, now I'm going one-on-one. Get by him, make a play, get to my floater. Once I see everybody matched up, I'm going one-on-one. Boom. Great decision making. This is what I'm saying, man. This guy's an elite decision maker out of the pick and roll. And I don't think people give him that type of credit because of their record. You know what I'm saying? Because of what's been going on this season. But NBA GMs has to be looking at this, man. If I see it, I know they see it. This is elite, man. He's giving us a lot of different decisions all in one game, right? From the hedges to the fake traps to the traps to going under to drop coverages to blown coverages. He's giving us all great decisions out of all these different defensive coverages, man. And this is just ridiculous, man. This is just a ridiculous shot. Going up and setting that screen, right? And again, they trying to put 2 on the ball, right? As you see, they putting 2 on the ball. They not letting them get off. What does he do? Step back. Deep 3. That's a very good shot for him. You know, a lot of people don't think that shooting those type of shots out of the pick and roll is good, but it's good for guys like Tahaad, man, especially when you play with a team that doesn't really have another pick and roll decision maker like that on the floor, you know, because Keyshawn Hall is out. So you got to be able to hit this shot sometimes, man. Great decision, great shot. You know, on balance, not fading away, straight up, straight down. Good shot. So, like I said, man, Tahaad is one of the best pick and roll decision makers in the country. You know, you got other guys like Acuff. Who else you got out there? Mikael Brown. You know, just a lot of guys that's out there making great decisions. Flemings from Houston. Kingston Flemings, very tough decision maker out of the pick and roll, you know, but I think Tahaad is one of the better ones, I should say, out of him and Acuff, right? Because just as the defensive coverage that they play against this guy, it's hard to make decisions, especially out of the size that he has, right? He's only 6'6'1". It's not like he's 6'6". You know what I mean? So, like I said, if you're a kid that's trying to get better at the pick and roll, if you're a coach that's trying to teach your players how to become better at the pick and roll, you need to start by watching this guy, right? He's undersized, still making decisions under pressure, right? And still playing on a high major team where they have a chance to make it to the tournament and go far in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? So like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think about it. Any comment is welcome. Let me know what's up, man. We out.